Hello, thank you for joining me for today's class where we will unlock our posture. Now, over time, if our body's been hanging out into one position for too long, then it tends to get locked up in that position. And for a lot of us, more often than not, that position is this really slouched, rounded, forward head position. Some muscles get tighter when this happens and some get weaker. And today we're really going to focus on releasing and repatterning the length of those tight muscles so we can loosen up a bit and find freedom in our body to sit up a little taller and improve our posture without having to work so hard. So we will need a yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a strap from a robe, a belt, anything like that works. And you might want a block later on in class. We just use it for one pose and it's optional. So we'll start in a seated position with our strap within reach. Drop your shoulders down. Take a big breath in. Let's reach our arms out and up. And then sigh the breath out as your arms come back down. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, sigh it out. Good, one more like that. Breathe in. Hold the breath in just briefly at the top. And then let it go. Now bring your fingertips up to your shoulders. Back of the neck is long, elbows lifted, and start to draw big circles back with your elbows. And then let's circle forward. And just go as big as you can here. And then bring those elbows up and out again, lift through the chest. Start to rotate your body side to side. And we're keeping that chest lifted. We're not rounded forward here. Keep everything nice and open and tall. And then next time you rotate over to the left, let's pause, release the hands down. So the right hand goes across your body to your knee, the other hand behind you, for a seated twist. Take one deep breath in here. Breath out to return to center, and then let's bring our fingertips back up to our shoulders and start our rotations again. And then next time you rotate to the right, go all the way and release your hands down. So this left arm is reaching across the body for the knee. And you can use that hand on the knee for a little extra help to twist deeper. And we'll take just one full breath in here. And then release back to center as you exhale. Take your yoga strap. Now what we're about to do is called shoulder flossing. And if you have any kind of shoulder issues or shoulder pain, just listen to your body and don't do anything that doesn't feel right, okay? And maybe give yourself a lot of space between the hands. So everybody might want to start with a lot of space, and then we can always walk the hands in closer together if we want more intensity. So let's pull the strap tight, sit up tall, take a breath in as you reach up above your head, and then a breath out as we go back behind us. Now take your time with that. Now, if you couldn't do that without doing something like this, go ahead and give yourself more space between the hands, okay? And then let's go back up, inhale, and then back in front of you, exhale. So we'll do a few of those. You can adjust. If you didn't feel much, you can go closer with your hands and make sure you're pulling tight. Inhale up, exhale back, inhale up, exhale forward. One more, breathe in. Breathe out, go really slow in those tight areas. Breathe in and breathe out. And then we'll bring our hands in a little closer. You can even wrap the strap around your hands like so if you'd like. You still have some good amount of space there. Then let's reach straight up to the sky and just give a little tug on the strap. Lift up through the chest, take a breath in. Side bend to the left as you breathe out. Inhale back up through center. Exhale, side bend to the right. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Now this time when we come back to the left, we're going to hold for just a moment. And I want you to gently pull down with the left hand while you're resisting that pull with the right. Breathing smooth in and out of your nose. And then let's come back up. Big breath in at the top. And then we'll hold the side bend on the other side. Again, we're pulling down with the right hand and resisting it with the left. And then on your next breath in, back up one last time. Let's take a back bend where we move that strap back behind us and then release. Okay, and that's all we'll use that for, so you can set it out of the way and come around to hands and knees. So tabletop position, spread your fingers wide, and let's start with a few cat-cows here. Lowering the belly down to the mat, opening the chest, gazing up as you breathe in, and then rounding your spine, tucking the tailbone, releasing the head as you breathe out. Next time you inhale, we'll finish by just coming to a neutral spine, breathing out. Now, setting up for puppy pose, we can go into a deeper shoulder stretch now that our shoulders are really nice and warm. So walk your hands way out in front of you with straight arms. Now we're going to keep the hips above the knees. So you might think this looks kind of like child's pose, but our hips stay elevated and our arms really walk out pretty far ahead of us. And you can always adjust. Then keeping the hips up in the air, we're going to melt the heart down to the floor and maybe let your head rest on the mat, your forehead. And it's like your chest is sinking down through your arms. Again, this shouldn't be painful. If it does not feel good, come up out of it a little bit. You can try bending your elbows, making it less intense. You can stay a little more lifted up here. Do what you need to do to make this work for your body. And then we'll rise back up, walk the hands in, and then back by your side for just a brief child's pose, and letting our shoulders rest for a moment. Okay, back up to tabletop for downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, send your hips up and back, and then start to pedal it out, opening up any tight areas behind your legs, calves, hamstrings. Okay, and then keep a little bend in the knees so we can really decompress the spine here. Press your palms firmly into the floor and send your hips up, 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 and back. Feel the length in your spine, looking down towards your ankles or knees as you breathe. And then we'll walk our feet up to our hands for a standing forward fold and hang in ragdoll. Toe heel your feet wide to the width of the mat. Bend your knees generously. Reach your hands for opposite elbows, and then let your upper body hang heavy. And let's intentionally release any gripping or tightness in the neck and shoulders, so you can nod your head yes to shake it out and shake your head no to release that tension. And then begin to sway or swing side to side. Release your hands back to the floor. Ground through the feet actively to engage your legs, and then roll up to stand. Take your time. So your feet should still be wide here, and we'll come all the way up and bring our hands to our hips. From here, stand tall and then begin to take big hip circles around. It's almost like you're hula hooping. Think of it like that. and then go the other direction. I guess I'm getting my torso into it a little more than I would if I was hula hooping, but you get the idea. And then come up through center, and you can face me if you want. We're going to keep our feet wide. And actually, let's go a little wider with the feet. And toes can go straight ahead. Going into a side bend. Here, right arm sweeps up and over. And then let's flow right to the other side. So I want this to be fluid for today's purposes. So just enjoy those transitions as we flow side to side. And then next time we side bend over to the right, hold there, extending through your left fingertips, and we're going to take this right hand and take hold of the left wrist. And then just give it a little extra tug to create more space down your side. Make sure your neck is comfortable. And then we'll release that wrist, flow on over to the other side. And same thing, once we're settled in, let's take that left hand, gently tug on the right wrist, hold and breathe. Okay, release both arms up, and then you can rest your arms down by your sides and just take some shoulder circles back. Okay, now let your knees bend generously here, and I want this next move that we're doing, this rotation, to be very floppy and loose and free. So let your arms just swing side to side without too much control. So don't try to be pretty, just let it swing. If you need to bring your legs in a little bit for some more freedom, do it. Feel this freedom in your movement, the freedom of your spine, the natural rotation. And then we'll slow down and lessen the movement. And make your way back to center and back to stillness. Take a moment to breathe here. Feel what we've done so far in our body. Let it be easy today. And then if you do have your block, go ahead and set it down on the floor in front of you. Just a few feet. You can always adjust later. It does not have to be any kind of perfect distance. Let's toe heel our feet out wider with the toes straight ahead. And then strong T arms here, lifting through the chest, a little back bend at the top. Big breath in. Now flat back as you breathe out, keeping your arms into T's, looking straight down to that block or down to the floor if you're not using the block. And our thumbs are either straight ahead or maybe even a little up to a diagonal to keep the shoulders nice and open. And we're lifting up behind us. Now, just check in that your arms are straight out to the side of your shoulders and they're not drifting back to V's by your waist. Keep them pretty up forward. Okay, just a couple more breaths here. And then we're going to rotate to the left. So keep your T arms and rotate your torso to the left. Now, this is where you can move that block and put it under your right hand as you reach the left fingertips up to the sky. And then we're going to come back to our T, strong T, straight down, and then twist to the right. And we're taking our time here, okay? So left hand comes to the block, right fingertips reach up to the sky, back into your straight T. Take a breath in, breath out, twist to the left. Breath in through center, strong arms, strong back. Breath out to the right. Let's do one more on each side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And let's take one more inhale to that flat back T. Maybe lift the arms up a little higher. And now release all the way into a forward fold as you exhale. You can use the block, or you can release your hands to the floor. Maybe even toe heeling your feet out wider if that feels good. Letting your head and shoulders soften and relax, similar to our rag doll. Let all the tension melt away from your body. And then you can just come back up to your palms a little bit so we can toe heel our feet in. We're going to come down to our backs, but on the way, I'm going to offer up a yogi squat. So your feet are just a little wider than hip distance with the toes out slightly. And then we have our hands to our heart, elbows gently open the knees outward, and we're lifting up out of our hips. Now, since our focus here is posture, let's really make sure that we're not rounding in and down. Open up through the chest as much as you can. One more breath in here, and a breath out to come down. We can shake out our legs, and then come to lie down on your back. We'll stretch the legs out long. And then once you're situated, simply reach your arms up past your ears, and we'll pause here for a moment. Feel that natural extension, that natural slight back bend in your spine as you breathe here. And then on your next exhale, let's draw the right knee into your chest and hug it in tight. And then on your inhale, release that leg, stretch your arms back out into that extension. Exhale, left knee draws in and squeeze in tight. Inhale, release, both arms stretch up past your ears. A change here, both knees come in on the exhale, squeeze in, and inhale to release and stretch. Let's do that one more time. Right knee comes in on the exhale. Inhale, stretch up. Left knee comes in on the exhale. Inhale to stretch. Both knees draw in. Give yourself a hug, and it might feel good to rock side to side a little bit. We'll stay here for a moment. And then you can squeeze in tight, squeeze your knees into the chest, and then simply plant your feet down on the floor with the knees bent, feet about hip distance apart. If you do have a blanket under your head, you might want to remove it for bridge pose here. We're going to do dynamic bridge and then hold the last one. So walk your feet in a little closer to your hips, arms down by your sides. Take a breath in where you are, and then on your exhale, press your feet down to lift your hips up. Check in that our glutes are turned on. And then on your inhale, simply come back down to the mat. Exhale to press up. No rushing here, no rushing your breath and your movement. Inhale to come down. Keep moving like that. And the next time your hips come up, I invite you to hold. And today, maybe we do shuffle our shoulders under us just a little more so our chest can lift up towards the chin. Breathing all the way up through your ribs, up into your chest. And then on your next exhale, slowly roll down your spine just a little at a time. And then once your hips have reached the mat, open your arms into 90-degree angles, cactus. See how close the back of your arms are to the floor without force. Toe heel your feet out wider and let your knees windshield wiper side to side. And today, let's get our head into this too. So gaze in the opposite direction that your knees are falling. Using this movement, this simple, gentle movement, to slow everything down, ease into stillness, ease into our rest. And the next time your knees come up, you can stay there. If you're comfortable in the cactus position, you can keep your arms there or release them down by your sides. You can keep your knees bent or you can stretch your legs out long. And let's just take a few deep intentional breaths in our Shavasana, in our rest, to feel the effects of our practice and notice what else we feel. Do you feel a little more freedom in your body? Do you feel a little lighter? Maybe you do feel a little taller. Whatever you notice, just check in and feel. And then you're welcome to stay here for as long as you like. Or you can join me in a seat to wrap up our practice. No rush. It's nice to have a moment of stillness at the end in a seated position as well. Please acknowledge yourself for choosing to show up and get on your mat today, to take care of your body, your mind, and your spirit. Bring your palms together, touching in front of your heart. And I'll wish you loving kindness as you go on your way. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be safe. And may you feel peace. The light in me sees the light in you. Namaste. If you enjoyed this practice, then you'll love my free 7-day Yoga for Posture challenge. Each day we explore simple ways to move with more freedom, feel lighter in your body, and of course, improve your posture. You can sign up to join us for free by going to yogaforposturechallenge.com or just click the link down in the description.